navigation. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, police are investigating a school bus crash involving two of their own. The officers and a student are rushed to the hospital. Plus, a man caught with nearly $19,000 worth of the drug ice is spared jail time. And more contraband is found at the Department of Corrections.
Hafaday and good evening.
Well, a 9-year-old boy and two police officers are rushed to the hospital after this crash involving a school bus in Orad early today. It happened around 7 a.m. along Route 4 near the Shine Market intersection. Police say the two officers, who are assigned as the Lieutenant Governor's executive security detail, were inside the Lincoln Navigator. They were the only two inside the car at the time of the crash. Investigators say the cops were at a stop when the driver of the Guam Adventist Academy bus failed to give enough clearance and hit the SUV from behind. Responding medics checked all the students at the scene. School officials say one student experienced pain in his right arm. He, along with the two officers, were taken to GMH for observation, but they are doing okay. The student even told his parents that he was ready to go back to school today. GPD's Highway Patrol Division is investigating.
He was nowhere to be found when police responded to a serious crash in Dedido last week. Now that man faces criminal charges. Diego Lucas is charged with 4 counts of leaving the scene of an accident with personal injuries. It happened on November 27th along Route 3 near the former South Finagazan housing. The driver of the Toyota Camry told police he lost control of the car, causing it to roll. It then crashed into a Corolla, causing that car to slam into a concrete pole. The suspect says after the crash, he took off on foot into the jungle area before walking to a relative's home. 4 people inside the Corolla, including 3 women and a minor, were injured and rushed to the hospital. They are said to be doing okay.
No additional jail time for the man caught with close to $19,000 worth of the drug ice.
In court today, it's apparent Gilbert Salas Duenas Jr. was not only cooperative with the feds, but also a reliable informant in other drug-related cases. How substantial was his assistance? Parties were at odds for hours, arguing defendant Gilbert Salas Duenas Jr.'s fate before agreeing to time served and 2 years home confinement. Although he pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine, which carries a maximum 20-year jail term, the court considered the age of the case, Duenas' cooperation with the government, and Duenas' efforts to recover from a past of drug abuse. Back in November 2011, Duenas was busted receiving close to 38 grams of the drug ice in the mail. That's a street value close to $19,000. Court documents state that upon arrest, he admitted to being a user and seller, and that he identified his source, a man in California. Though it's unknown why the case took so long to close, defense attorney Peter Perez stated Duenas' cooperation is extensive and included providing intel on 30 other persons. One such case involved the bust of 3 pounds of drugs. Also, having been a former Port Authority of Guam employee, Duenas reportedly tipped the feds on other drug users in the agency. During a tearful testimony to the court, Duenas apologized for his past mistakes. The 46-year-old has since completed his drug treatment program, maintained a stable job, and continues to serve as the primary caregiver to his family. Spared jail time, he told the court he looks forward to obtaining his high school diploma through a program at the Guam Community College.
Couple search warrants executed up north leads to 2 people being placed under arrest. 31-year-old Anthony John Palacios and 28-year-old Dre Ju Luhan were busted on drug charges. Both were picked up following a drug raid at 2 homes in Jigo on November 30th. On Palacios, police found a half gram of crystal meth inside a fanny pack he was wearing and several glass pipes inside his room. As for Luhan, police found small plastic baggies, some of which contained crystal meth and drug residue. Both face charges of possession of a Schedule II controlled substance.
Also facing drug charges, 38-year-old Keith Paris Mosca. He was arrested following a sting operation carried out on Friday in Dedido. In his car, police found 36 grams of crystal meth. That's worth almost $20,000. Authorities also found a loaded gun.
He is accused of groping a co-worker multiple times. 28-year-old Joel Sutter is charged with 3 counts of 4th-degree criminal sexual conduct. Court documents state he allegedly made sexual comments to the victim before putting his hands on her breasts. Later that day, he is alleged to have confronted the victim in a stairwell, pressed her up against the wall, then kissing her while rubbing her genital. The next day, he approached her from behind and allegedly hugged her tight while again pressing his hand on her genital area. The victim also gave police text messages that the suspect sent to her, apologizing for his actions.
A rude awakening for one Barragata woman as she caught a man trying to get into her home. Now that man is under arrest. 34-year-old Simon Areola is charged with attempted criminal trespass, and harassment. The victim awoke early Friday morning after hearing someone trying to open her bedroom window. She told the suspect to leave, but he refused. Police showed up before he was able to get inside. He told authorities he was trying to enter the home because, quote, there was a girl whose finger was stuck, end quote. The suspect claimed an elderly woman at the home told him to wait outside, but he was never given permission to go inside.
Drugs are found at the Department of Corrections prison over the weekend. DEPCOR leaders say a corrections officer who had been monitoring a detainee at the time made the find. It was inside the Post 8 women's facility where the officer found 2 small bags in the common area. The 2 bags contained small amounts of the drug ice. DOC's Internal Affairs is investigating the case alongside GPD's Mandani Drug Task Force.
Defense for attorney Mark Smith and co-defendant Glenn Wong are calling out the government for, quote, prosecutorial misconduct, end quote. In their most recent filing requesting for oral argument, defense alleges the government deliberately caused a mistrial in order to have Smith's attorney, David Lujan, disqualified. As reported, Smith was former legal counsel for the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority. He is alleged to have had rental units under the federal program and concealed his conflict of interest by transferring the properties to Wong. Defense further argues the case can't be retried due to double jeopardy.
On their 98-day voyage, the Republic of Korea Navy cruise training ship made its way to Guam, docking in Apra Harbor.
The trip comes as political tension with North Korea drags on. Carmen Terlahi reports.
This is not the first time they've come to Guam, but the first time in the middle of escalating military tension. The South Korean ship of 600 crew members includes 100 midshipmen. According to the Republic of Korea Navy Cruise Training Task Group, the visit is about on-the-job experience and learning military diplomacy. Rear Admiral Shoshana Chatfield says the visit is an educational event.
We are very fortunate to have a visit from our Republic of Korea partners who are here with their midshipmen. Now, midshipmen are students from their Naval Academy, and they're getting real-world experience.
Even with the looming threat from North Korea, the purpose of this visit remains the same: to strengthen U.S. ties with the Republic of Korea.
This visit is a routine occurrence, and this type of activity is absolutely wonderful to really focus on our enduring relationship that has gone on for so many years, and to start now building friendships and professional relationships between people in both of our services.
While they're here, she says midshipmen will serve in a different capacity, such as participating in beach cleanups around Ipoh.
They'll visit the base, they'll come out into town. We hope that they'll be able to see all of the capabilities that we have on Guam.
They will be making their way to Yokosuka, Japan, before heading home to Korea. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
Well, just days after launching an intercontinental ballistic missile into the waters near Japan, new images are released out of North Korea. The photos are of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un thanking workers during a visit to a factory. It's there they reportedly built tires for a huge vehicle used to transport a new ICBM said to be launched this week. The Korean Central News Agency reported Un called for efforts to raise production to satisfy the daily increasing needs in developing the country's economy and beefing up national defense capabilities. South Korea's military believes the latest missile, which flew 600 miles before splashing into the waters near Japan, is potentially capable of striking the U.S. Officials say the latest launch is in violation of international sanctions placed upon the North.
Heads up, Guam Homeland Security and Civil Defense, as well as Guam's military commands, will be conducting routine testing of the vital communication and advanced warning system sirens. On Tuesdays, starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, GovGuam's All Hazards Alert Warning System will sound from 13 locations. This will happen in conjunction with Naval Base Guam and Andersen Air Force's base monthly routine testing of the Giant Voice.
Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Cabo Select Care provides our members several wellness programs and healthy options to improve their overall health status in addition to comprehensive medical benefits. Federal employees and annuitants enroll today.
2017 is rapidly coming to an end, and the big finish is on now. At Cars Plus in Mighty, get big year-end savings on a big selection of new 2017 Ram trucks, Jeep Wranglers, Dodge Challengers, and all Fiat models. Plus, buy from Cars Plus today and receive a Cars Plus value card, where you get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. Big savings and 21 cents off per gallon with a Cars Plus value card when you buy during the big finish at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam, Ruby Tuesday, and King's Restaurants. Receive special offers with every purchase for extra holiday happiness. See stores for details and have fun this season from all of us at the GFS Group.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Lawmakers working overtime this weekend, wrapping up 6 days of debate on the Port Authority's $72 million infrastructure improvement bond. That bill finally moving on to the voting file. On Monday, senators moved on to discussions on a bill to refund the Power Authority's $150 million bond. CCU Chairman Joey Duenas says they're looking at every way to save money, and this could help to avoid raising the base rate.
But the total amount is about $417,000 average annual savings. We are not taking money out of this deal to do other things. We are also not extending the maturity. So these bonds will be paid off in the same time frame. They don't add any more debt to GPA. They'll be paid off. So all we're talking about at the end of the day is the $417,000 a year in average annual savings.
While the base rate has not been raised since 2013, there have been incremental increases in the LEAC, or fuel surcharge, in response to rising oil prices. GPA will discuss this week another probable LEAC increase in February to make up for an estimated $18 million in under-recovery.
It seems it's going to be at least 6 more months before GovGuam could be given control of the island's solid waste system. District Court Chief Judge Frances Tadinko Gatewood issued her order late Friday, extending the December 31st timeline to summer 2018. The transition was scheduled by the court to occur at the end of this year, but that's no longer the case. The court recently expressing uncertainty over whether the receivership should be terminated and handed over from GBB to the Guam Solid Waste Authority. One issue, the post-closure plan for the ORDOT facility, has not yet been approved because the proposed plan needs to be updated to address the mitigation of residual methane gas in the soil. At last week's hearing, the Fed stated the receiver and its contractors are working to determine the nature and extent of the problem so that an appropriate remedial plan can be implemented. They admit it will take several months for the receiver to get the data it needs. The new transition date is June 30th of 2018.
The annual State of Public Education address is this week. Today, the Guam Department of Education reported its graduation rate has increased by 3% over the past year. That's also a 13% increase from 6 years ago. DOE also reached and exceeded the state strategic plan graduation rate goal for 2020. Now, along with the increase, officials confirmed the dropout rate at GDOE has seen a downward trend for the past 4 years. School officials say they've since implemented success programs and interventions at several schools geared towards student retention and credit recovery.
Well, while we have one of the nation's highest per capita military enlistment rates, there continues to be a shortfall in services for this large segment of our community.
The challenges facing local veterans and their families was the focus of a University of Guam conference on Monday. Nestor Lacanto reports.
Graduating master's candidates chose to spotlight veterans for the biennial Western Pacific Conference on Public Administration and Policy Solution. Dean of the CBPA, Dr. Annette Santos.
You know, their sense is that we've treated them with apprehension and caution. And this conference really serves to bridge the gaps that exist.
The students invited veterans groups and organized a series of speakers covering topics from finances to PTSD to suicide. Veterans Affairs Director Jose San Agustin says they appreciate the efforts of the students and any attention the vets receive helps.
In the past and until now, we're still experiencing a lack of those services in certain areas. Some of the top things that are in the veterans' mind is, the medical and the health services.
He says bringing a full-service VA hospital here is a top concern of the vets, but there are many challenges, including Guam's small population. Meanwhile, Master's candidate Amanda Blah says they also sought to give voice to the vets in another way. They helped collect memorabilia that will be put on display in the nation's capital.
This is actually a project in conjunction with the Congresswoman's office, and we will have some of the stories of our veterans in the Library of Congress forever. So it is a big endeavor, and we are very proud to serve those who have served.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lacanto.
Christmas came early for an 11-year-old boy diagnosed with lupus. Aiden Jade Hunt was joined by family and others during the annual tree lighting ceremony at the Sheraton on Friday. The hotel has partnered with Make-A-Wish Foundation for the past 5 years and dedicated this year's ceremony to Aiden. He was gifted a one-night stay in their presidential suite. Now, over the summer, Aiden was granted his wish to take his family on a vacation to Los Angeles as he wanted to show his brothers where he gets his treatments, among other things the city has to offer.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
Managing our wireless data used to drive my family crazy. But now that we've switched to GTA and get all that bonus data, we're spreading the love. You sure you don't mind the wait, honey?
Take your time. I'm good.
But we're missing the game.
Nope. I've got bonus data from GTA. Come watch.
Love it.
Get 10 extra gigs of wireless data on every line every month when you bundle. Visit gta.net for more details.
There's a reason why you keep going. When it's your own hard work that brought you to this point. You do everything to protect what you've earned. Because every move that brings you closer to your goals leaves you no excuse but to keep moving forward. This is what makes you an alpha.
Say hello to the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas, Guam, Saipan, Tinian, and Rota. When your passion goes beyond your island, choose a plan that takes you further. With Docomo Pacific's My Plans, you can do a lot throughout the Marianas. 20 gigs for $79 or 30 gigs for $99. All the data you need to connect, share, and make all your ideas happen. Dream big, reach higher with My Plans. Docomo Pacific, better together. Everyone is a winner with Shell's Holiday Fuel and Win giveaway. Receive a scratch card with every 7-gallon fuel purchase to win $5 off of your next $30 purchase or $2 off of your next $20 purchase of Shell fuel or Foodie store items. Eat, drink, and happy holidays from Shell and Foodies. Only while supplies last. So hurry to your nearest Shell station today for your fuel or Foodie scratch card. Some conditions apply. See store for details.
Hi, Dad.
Warm up. with the new Peking pork. Delicious crisp pork chop bites with hand-cut bell peppers and onions, wok-tossed in a sweet and sour glaze. New at Panda Express, where good fortune smiles.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. It's Monday, so I'll get you NFL scores and highlights in just a bit. But first off, some girls' high school basketball for you. Check it out. IIAAG girls high school basketball quarterfinals from the Ukadu Gym. The home team Bulldogs lacing up against the Southern High Dolphins. Tiffany Terlahi gets the lucky bounce on the deep two. Zaria Garrido dribbles right and spots Vanessa Gastillo wide open baseline for the shot inside the paint. Gastillo scored 8 points for the home team, setting up on the wing, assisted by teammate Danica Cabrera. Bulldogs barely holding on to the lead at halftime. Daphne Manabusin showing her range. Too much space by the defender. Manabusin drains the shot, a step behind the line. Ukadu picked up the win 40-37 over the visiting Southern High Dolphins. With the win, Ukadu will now make the trip to Academy to take on the Cougars in the semis on Tuesday. Academy got the win over the JFK Island. Teason High in the 102-pound division. Teason High's Tiara Fernandez and Simon Sanchez Sharks' Tatiana Ananich, both 3-0 heading into the matchup. Fernandez, last year's All-Island champion as a freshman. Ananich, runner-up last year at a different weight. Fernandez led 4-3 heading into the third period. Tatiana Ananich controlled the fight throughout the last period, forcing Tiara to defend the last minute of the match. Tatiana took the win via point 6-4 to improve to 4-0 on the season. Gianna Leon Guerrero representing Sanchez and Stacy Falagoy from Teason took to the mat next in the 127-pound weight class. Falagoy also undefeated heading into the contest. Leon Guerrero controlled the first round with good position, scoring yards. Jets got the win at home 38-31. Let's run through your scores now. The Vikings got the win over the Falcons 14-9. Patriots 23-3 over the Bills. 49ers get one again 15-14 over the Bears. The Packers beat the Bucks. Titans 24-13 over the Texans. Dolphins beat the Broncos 35-9. Jets got the win over the Chiefs. We showed you. Jags over the Colts.
Like a fireplace, your warm, sweet embrace. I want to see your face again. Your love is like a fireplace, your warm, sweet embrace. I want to see your face again. 'Cause I'm caught up in the current of your love. Walking, the ice around my heart begins to melt in. The floodgates start to open as you rush in. I'm caught up in the current of your love. Alright, speeding, I can feel your energy, it's peaking.
We get to walk.
Jen.
Mark! Wow, it's been a long time.
It has. How you been?
Good, really good.
Jake, this is Mark. We used to date.
Oh. Hey, Chief.
Cool.
So easy to dip.
See you, man.
So hard to put down.
It was nice.
Rolled chicken tacos are back. Tasty shredded chicken rolled up with your choice of dips. Only at Taco Bell.
Gifts crafted by human hands move us the most, especially those infused with the passion of the people who create them. This holiday, treat yourself to a Mazda, crafted just for you. Celebrate the season with a test drive today. Mazda. Driving matters.
Arrest. 34-year-old Simon Ariola is charged with attempted criminal trespass, and harassment. The victim awoke early Friday morning after hearing someone trying to open her bedroom window. She told the suspect to leave, but he refused. Police showed up before he was able to get inside. He told authorities he was trying to enter the home because, quote, there was a girl whose finger was stuck, end quote. The suspect claimed an elderly woman at the home told him to wait outside, but he was never given permission to go inside.
Drugs are found at the Department of Corrections prison over the weekend. DepCorp leaders say a corrections officer who had been monitoring a detainee at the time made the find. It was inside the Post 8 Women's Facility where the officer found 2 small bags in the common area. The two
Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes.
Off day, Nick Delgado. Now you're cruising with KUAM in this round, and in the hot seat is Paul Claros, the head coach and owner of CrossFit Gulf Medgood. And of course, you know, staying in shape is going to be a tough thing for many people this time of year as we have those holiday meals. But let's see what he has to say about his gym and some of the programs he has available. All right, hey Paul.
How you doing?
Good. So, go ahead and tell us a little bit about how you got your gym started.
Well, if you don't know, I've been an avid athlete since I was a kid, of course, you know, playing up American football. And then, of course, through high school, track and field, football as well. And then it wasn't until we were actually my senior year with my brother in 1997, actually. We went to one of the mini SPGs. I think it was in American Small. There we actually had a discussion about what we actually want to do with our future. And being, of course, athletically gifted, and in terms of just moving forward with our life and looking as a career, we kind of decided that we wanted to own a gym or run something to that nature. Fast forward, almost I'm gonna say almost about 20 years later. Okay. I have already graduated from the University of Guam, of course, and my brother graduated with his doctorate in physical therapy. So about 4 years ago, we started CrossFit Gulf Medgood, or Custom Fitness CrossFit Gulf Medgood, and it literally came out just from a conversation at a dinner table, saying, okay, he was on vacation. I'm like, okay, brother, are you ready to come back? He's like, okay, let's go. So at the same time, we like looked at some logos and this and that. So within 6 months, we brought in Samantha Sablon and Steven Sablon, and we're off and running. Okay. And our first facility was about 1,500 square feet, and the building's no longer there. It's the same, I forgot, the Corn building basically. Yeah. And then the current building is the former Ambrose, and we currently occupy about 15 to 16,000 square foot of space, basically 10 times the size.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, when people see your gym, what can they expect?
So if you don't know, Custom Fitness is first and foremost, we're a functional fitness facility, and then what that means is basically we cater and teach movements that will help your everyday life. So it's not necessarily trying to be the world's strongest guy or the fastest or the most athletic, but we just try to help people make their lives better, live their lives better, and just be happy that they can move and move freely and things like that. So of course, when you come to our gym, they can expect, of course, our prime driver that drives a lot of our business is, of course, CrossFit Gulf Mecca. And with CrossFit Gulf Mecca, we have a bunch of spin-offs, of course, variations of that. We have the adult version, which is, of course, CrossFit Gulf Mecca. Then we have a basics